What is up, people? Welcome back to another Celebrity Master Chef video. Because you know who's back? Gordon Whamsey and Kitchen Musclemares. It took me far too long to try and devise that. It's almost embarrassingly funny. But anyways, back to the kitchen we go. So I heard you've been working out, training hard, but you're not seeing any progress. Well, this is my solution for you. This is the best meal. The best meal for putting on muscle mass. The reason why? High protein, nutritious, and it tastes absolutely amazing. Sorry, I just had to restart this recording again, mainly because I forgot one very important thing. This is gonna be the signature thing, by the way, for every new cooking video. 3, 2, 1. Ho ho, he is back, people. Gordon Whamsey. Kitchen Gainsmares. Gainsmares? Musclemares. Anyways, enough dabbling and babbling on. Let's get to the cooking, people, because you want some protein and I will deliver that. So the ingredients for the best protein meal ever is as follows: a protein tortilla wrap, spinach, mixed peppers, black beans, paprika, red onions, some chestnut mushrooms, lime, cayenne pepper, garlic puree, ground cumin, that's a joke by the way, another lime, some chicken breast fillets, Greek low-fat yogurt, and to finish off, some Greek feta cheese and chunky guac. Oh wait, no, there's one more, which is Cajun. So the first thing we're going to do is prep the veg, because I'm the type of guy who likes to prep the veg first and then cook, because I know some people like to cook while prepping the veg. No. We like to cook the veg first because that's better. And also it's not the stress of, having to like cook the chicken and, just fucking dice up the fucking carrot. You're gonna get the biggest chopping board you've got, nice and big, and the veg knife. So the first thing you want to do is de-seed that thing. Sounds really unnecessarily sexual, but de-seed it. Obviously we don't want any of the dirty seeds in there. And then take off the stalk. I like to keep the top bit because some people just throw away the lid. I like to keep it. This is also a little trick of mine. I just basically keep a bucket of just so I can put all the veggies in. Keeps things nice and organised. So this is how I usually chop my peppers. So I just do half down the middle, and then I'll cut them again to make like strips almost. So the peppers are now diced. I like to do kind of like, kind of long, because that's a bit too long to be honest. But you know what I mean, like stripey rather than diced. So we now move on to the onions. I like red onions because I think they taste way better than white onions. So we actually have this because, well, voiceover Theo is probably going to explain to you the reason why onions are one of the best things to incorporate in your diet. No, he won't. But to be honest, I don't care. I just like them because of the taste. Probably because like some antioxidants or something like that. Because obviously Gordon Whamsey loves antioxidants. So this meal usually accommodates around, this one cooking session usually accommodates around 4 meals. 4, like, I guess medium-sized meals. So 1 onion we go, heads and tail, and then straight down the middle. First thing in order for the onions is to de-skin them, unless you're an absolute psychopath and keep the skin on. Then you well and truly, my friend, need to be admitted to a psych ward. See, again, I like to cut it in half, and then I'm dicing these, so I do half. It's a bit finicky actually, trying to get these diced. And then as you can see again, I basically just go like over cross section to get nice and small cubes of red onion without trying to cry, because these things are pretty pesky on the eyes. Okay, so we've now diced the onions, so they go in the plastic bucket of goodness. Okay. You're also probably thinking why I've got so many veggies, like a whole onion, 2 peppers, load of spinach, some black beans, some mushrooms. Well, the answer is it's volume. It makes you feel full because I'm trying to cut weight at the minute. So the more volume of food, the more or the less hungry I feel. Because Gordon Whamsey is losing weight, ladies and gents. Anyways, let's get onto the shrooms, shall we? Apparently this is quite a, I guess, controversial opinion, but I don't actually wash my mushrooms before, I guess, cutting them and throwing them in the cook. Which I don't know. I mean, let me know in the comments what you guys do. I've just never washed them, and I did it one time, and my friend was almost taken aback. He was like, "What? You're not washing mushrooms? What?" But anyway, I try and have about 8 mushrooms here. Obviously they're the small ones because they're little chestnut things. So once we've diced them up, shove them into the plastic cauldron of healthy goodness. We're nearly done. And to finish off the veggies, the veggie goodness, obviously Popeye foods. Gonna go with 2 or 1 big handful, sorry. So one big handful straight in. A whole box of healthy, nutritious food straight to the muscles, Gordon Whamsey style. What was I gonna say? Kitchen Musclemares, baby. So now we've done the veg, we need to prepare the protein, which is 2 500 grams of chicken breast. I haven't even revealed the dish name of what I'm making, but I think it's gonna be fairly obvious from one main ingredient, and that is fajitas, which is typically Mexico food, right? It's Whamsey, that's what it is, it's Whamsey style. Whamsey style, baby. Anyway, into the chicken we go. Now onto the chicken. What I do here is just cut them nice and small, so that usually looks like a cross and then half again. You've probably seen an underlying theme here of cutting in half. So basically nice and small so they don't take ages to cook through. It makes the process a little bit quicker. So if I wasn't cutting weight, I'd have obviously olive oil, because that is the best flavour. But because obviously I'm on a cut, we're using sunflower oil spray, 1 cal per spray. So I get the pan nice and hot, and then we'll obviously spray it down, get it nice and lubed up. Turn that heat down, put it on low, and onto the chicken we go. So you want to get it to a stage where it's light and golden, not fully cooked through, because obviously we need to introduce the veg. So separate it out, get it decent. You see a lot of people absolutely blast your chicken, right? The idea isn't to cook it as quick as possible. You want to be nice and slow, so don't blast the heat and burn it, for fuck's sake. Anyway, so now we've browned off the chicken, we're going to introduce the seasoning, because I might be white, but that does not mean I can use seasoning. So we're going to go in with the duo: cayenne, paprika, some cumin, and some Cajun. For some reason Lidl don't have chili powder. If any Lidl employees watching, sort your shit out. How can you not have chili powder? And also, not just chili powder, they didn't have garlic powder, so today we're using this. So I'm gonna use like 2 or 3 teaspoons of this, which is around 3 cloves, apparently. I don't really believe that. In an ideal world I use powder, but I need to sort out my shopping location. Okay, so we've got everything in the pan now. It probably looks like quite a lot at this moment in time, but obviously it's going to wilt down the The spinach and also the mushrooms will condense a little bit. Make sure you get the seasoning everywhere, because obviously you don't want some things to have bland taste. And then once we've achieved minimal mass, we will then introduce the final bit, which I'll do now. So now we've achieved minimal mass. Spinach has been wilted, check, and mushrooms have condensed, check. We now add some black beans. I usually add about half a tin, which I think is about 100 grams. Basically just do it off eye here. Nice and nutritious, looking good and colourful, which is exactly what we want, because colourful equals goodness. My favourite part of the cook, and that's the plating. So the first thing we want to do before we even start to plate is we want to cut up the feta. So we're going to go in for small little chunks, basically nice and light touch, crumble it over the top of the wrap. And we're also going to cut this lime in half and use the juices. So for sauce as well, obviously we have to have a sauce because it'll be a bit dry otherwise. And I'm a man who likes wet things, because wet things is never a bad thing in life, which means we've got Greek yogurt, which is fat-free, basically hardly any calories. And we've also got some chunky guac to go on the wrap as well. On we go, Gordon Whamsey style. And now we enter the finale for the first episode of Kitchen Musclemares. I am your chef, Gordon Whamsey, plating up the best protein dish anyone can cook at any level. So obviously slap that protein tortilla onto the plate, and then load up the filling, obviously the protein, the healthy nutritious stuff. Then on goes the feta cheese, obviously good blocks there, followed by the guac. I usually use 1 heaped teaspoon. Spread it over the top, and then we follow it with some Greek low-fat yogurt, usually 2 teaspoons, basically how wet you want it. As always, you can never have it wet enough. And there we go, we put the lime on the top to really finish off the wrap, and then we tie it up together. I mean, unfortunately, because it's a protein wrap, they rip a little bit easier, but it's okay, we can sacrifice aesthetics. There we have it, people. The best protein meal for building muscle. The reason why is because this is so protein dense for such little food. Although today was a bit of an unsuccessful one, because as you can probably tell, the wraps got a little bit torn during the process. Now, Gordon Whamsey is usually better than this. He delivers in style. But thank you for watching today's episode of Kitchen Musclemares, and I'll see you in the next one. Let's get stuck in. Please come in one piece. It'll look good for the video, please. There we go. Okay, it's disintegrating in front of me, but cheers. Damn, that looks good.